We're live. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. It's the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this evening?
Oh, as per usual, Tito's, orange juice, and cranberry juice. Mr. Nick, I need you to tell me what you're drinking and our three things for the show.
I'm drinking my Cabernet J. Lure 7 Oaks as usual. Well, Roman Reigns saved Cody Rhodes with an unlikely alliance with the two. AEW rivalries are heating up, and we have WWE Monday Night Raw confrontations. It's Friday, September 20th, 2024, and this is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Welcome back in. Happy Friday, Nicole.
Happy Friday. We made it. We did it. We got through the week. We're here. We got to happy hour. Thank you.
We made it to the happy hour, and so did you in one piece. Well, so this week we're opening with a little bit of a new twist on things. We're taking on a little bit of new, what we're calling non-kayfabe wrestling news. And I'm calling it Nikki's News. So welcome to our news segment to open the show. Wrestling news outside of the ring from this past week. Nikki's News. With our special correspondent.
So, kind of the impetus of this segment, you were, I don't know if we were in the shower, came out of the shower, but I was just like, on all days, on Rusev Day, Miro has asked his release from AEW. And I'm like, oh, thank God. We have not seen him on our TVs since, I almost said end of days, end of the World's End. No. Days, what is the pay-per-view?
Days End? At World's End? No, isn't that the Pirates of the Caribbean movie?
The pay-per-view where MJF lost the belt to Samoa Joe.
Yeah, at World's End? No, I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. The last pay-per-view, that was December 31st.
That would be a fun game. Is it a Pirates of the Caribbean movie or an AEW pay-per-view?
But anyway, yes. We haven't seen him and Andrade had that match, and that was Andrade's last match in AEW, and then he went back to WWE. Does this mean if he's granted his release, again, he hasn't been on TV in 9 months. In 2023, he's only had 7 matches in AEW. Like, go back to WWE, resurrect Rusev Day.
He should have never got out of that video game box.
I don't know. Again, it was just like the best man with Kipsy, but like none of it made sense. And then he did that whole like fighting with God, Jesus.
Oh yes.
Destructible life, and him and CJ aren't together anymore. Then he was in Bulgaria after their divorce. Like, just let's close this chapter. Go back to WWE with Rusev Day. Yeah,
I kind of think. I mean, I don't know. I think he'd be great in TNA. I honestly don't think he should go back to WWE. I get the feeling that he would do more there than going back to the E. But
go back to New Japan, or go to New Japan. Be that monster, like a monster heel.
Yeah.
I'd rather see I feel like TNA's now it's too much. Like you got Nick, you got Mustafa. Like I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought he was going to AEW too.
But no. So hopefully Tony. I think at this point Tony Khan needs to cut his losses and let's all move on with our lives. Also, sticking with AEW, a brother from another mother, Dustin Rhodes' contract it ends in the end of September. And as of this recording, he is not re-signed.
Yeah, so a lot to kind of I mean, I feel like they really, I mean, there could have been partnership maybe, but I guess Tony just hates the idea. But like the whole, bloodline story, like Dustin, it would have been a great opportunity for him to come back into that whole feud. Maybe there's still something left. for him to do in WWE. Like Goldust was such a great character that was over for years and memorable, and maybe an outside shot.
He had said once Cody left AEW and went back to WWE, everyone's like, oh, well, Dustin's going. And he's like, F no. But a certain someone's not in charge anymore. Is that more of a reason to go back to WWE? Hall of Fame for Goldust? Absolutely. It's a very well-known, iconic character. And again, he's great in the ring. Again, that match between him and Cody, even though it was a bloodbath, one of my probably favorite matches ever.
Yeah.
Again, right now he's the ROH Tag Champs with Sammy Guevara. I still don't know how I feel about him. And then he's in the trios belt, and I don't even know who he's there with. I thought Bang Bang Gang combined.
That's what I thought too.
All those belts, and now we're separate again. Again, maybe because I'm not up on Collision. I'm not really watching ROH, so I don't know how that happened. But it's just like, all right, if he left.
Well, guys have worked with like no contract before too with both companies, so I think they'll probably.
Brian's doing, so I don't know.
Yeah, they'd probably put him over and let him, or he'd probably put someone over, I should say, and do it. But I guess, yeah, it's an interesting wrinkle in again as contracts come to an end and free agency with now a lot of options out there.
So that's moving on. That's what WWE is doing. That they don't want. Because Sheamus just resigned, and that contract kind of went back and forth. And I think at this point, Triple H is kind of stealing deals on stuff. And then with Nia and Rhea, and I thought
all three.
Oh, okay. That he's trying to negotiate. Let's redo. Let's not necessarily re-sign, but like extend.
Yeah, contract extensions.
Extends and like new deals and stuff. So he's looking to like lock those people down. And out of the three of them, I don't think he really needs to worry. I think it's like if anything, a Randy Orton deal. That when he was flirting with Dax Hardwood on Twitter, that it's just like, if anything, you would flirt to go the other place to get more money. But I think, Rhea's one of the higher paid women there, so I don't think he has to worry about any of them leaving. But I think it makes sense for WWE to be like, all right, you're with us for the next 5 years, kids.
Yeah, I don't see either of them going anywhere because, especially like maybe Liv more than any of the three, because I think her name brand might be a little bit more like on the like Rhea knows that she's going to be a megastar in WWE. She's never going to leave to take that to AEW
unless she wants to be with her husband.
He's going to end up coming to WWE.
No, he just re-signed a huge contract. He's there for I believe it's another 5 years with AEW, because everyone was saying like, I think a lot of people were shocked when he re-signed, thinking that he'd go to WWE. It's not like they're doing it back with the House of Black anyway.
But it's also like, it's not like not that he could be the pigeonholing, but that he'd be in the cruiserweight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much they'd build him up as a smaller, even though he's smaller muscular guy. Maybe NXT would be an area for him. But like,
like North American champion.
He probably has a higher ceiling in AEW.
AEW for a while. So again, none of these three people are leaving. But I can tell you who did leave. Cero Miedo. I changed up on you because it flowed and you ruined it.
Yeah.
I ruined it. We ruined each other. But Lucha Brothers has officially signed to a multi-year deal with WWE, not going to NXT, going straight to Maine. And I said to you that I immediately want them to go on Raw, challenge the Judgment Day, and get those belts. I love them so much. I think Penta I'm worried. I don't know if we're going to be able to call him. He's been Penta. He's
had like 17 names.
17 names, but I love him. And again, shout out to Cultaholic. Sam Driver said, well, I want to see Penta versus Jacob Fatu. Man, I'm so excited for this. Again, Ray is incredible in his own right. I hope he stays healthy because I know he's had a couple injuries in AEW. But them on Maine going after Tag Gold, I am super excited about.
Me too. But I don't think they'd be on Raw. I think SmackDown's probably better.
Then go after the bloodline. I just want them to be tag champions. I want to come in, shock thing, title change.
I don't think they're going to get the belt right off the gate, but I do think the idea that with them on SmackDown, DIY, the Street Profits, even the bloodline, which I don't really want them to interact with the bloodline. I think that that's a good area for them to build up the tag division. Like this is what we've been talking about for years. It's like now you're starting to get what AEW had for years, a great tag division that they just seemingly got rid of. Like now you have the names, you have the roster. Now build it up, and now show me something.
Right, and I'm excited. Like I don't think because in AEW, like again, Penta can talk, Penta can cut a promo. I did not like Alex Abrahantes be like Penta says, and then Penta talks like. I don't know. I'm excited I want to see them fresh away from AEW, little rejigger, refreshed. Like, I don't know if there's going to be Ray Phoenix and Penta. I'm sure there might be a name change or something because it can't be Pentagon Jr. I don't think he'll be able to do Penta Zero.
Maybe they'll do like another geometric shape.
A Penta something. But again, I love him. And I love Penta so much. I'm super excited about this. And also tag teams. I know everyone your slide, but also confirmed Motor City Machine Guns signed, going to NXT. I think they're going to build that division. And again, I said this to Ed when we saw him last week. I just want them to, not taking anything away from Nathan Frazier or Axiom or whatever they're calling them. Again, I want to see like legit tag teams. I don't want to see two single stars shoved together because you have no plans. And luckily, like this did work out with Frazier and Axiom. Like they are good together, but like I want like legit tag teams being legit tag teams. And that's why at NXT of old, when you had DIY, you had FTR, whatever you want to call them, AOP, like legit tag teams, and that division was good. Ladder match, like it was so good. Like I'm hoping, because again, they're supposed to be kind of like a player coach thing. They'll be in NXT for a while, and then apparently they're supposed to go up to Maine. But I think like being that player coach, teaching like legit tag teams how to be legit tag teams. Like Hank and Tank? Hank and whoever. Hank and
I think
yeah, like that feels like a legit tag. Like I know like it took a while for them to get there, or like to pair them together, but I think now the promos that they cut and the Instagram stuff that they do, I think that can be a legit thing. Like I think they need to building the division around Motor City Machine Guns. I should have just
say that after a few drinks.
I think it's a great idea, and I think that that tag division in 6 months is going to be the one to watch.
Yeah, I think they have a lot to offer, and just like with the Lucha Brothers, like the feuds that they could have with DIY, Street Profits, even like Judgment Day with Finn and JD on Raw. Like there's a lot of potential there. I just wish, again, I said to you, like 5 years probably too late for them, where they could have really made a huge name for themselves. Like I think they could have had a potential, like maybe not like to the level like Hardy's like Impact if they were 5 years ago. Like they could have had a really good run, or like maybe even been as strong and booked as strong as like the New Day was for that.
I think they would have been on NXT. I don't think Vince would know how to book them. I think, and again, and if they were in NXT, they could have been in that FTR, DIY, AOP tag division, and how good that was. I don't think putting them on me, Vince would know what to do with them. Oh, you're small, flippy guys. That's how he would see them, and I don't see them that's all they are. But I just think that's what he would do.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, yeah, well, Vince, but yeah, I mean, with some of the influence that Triple H, yeah, maybe on NXT, I don't know. I really think that they could have done a lot more with a few years earlier. But
call-ups did Vince ruin?
Yeah,
I wouldn't trust it. But again, we wanted them a little earlier. But if it's that player coach thing, and I think they're gonna have a handprint on the tag division of WWE going, what?
Steven said Vince would have put them in a stable with Sin Cara.
Probably. Like, I just don't.
They would have been the Portuguese Man of War.
Oh my God! No, we don't talk about that guy.
We don't. But I don't know. He who shall not be named
doesn't deserve it. But yeah, I think that's something. Oh, and also quickly, they announced that in January, SmackDown is going to 3 hours on the USA Network. And good lord, we didn't need it. I'm hoping it'll be good. That'll give people opportunity, because I know right now, to me, the mid card on SmackDown leaves me like Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews don't care. They ruined to me, which I'm surprised. I could care less about Carmelo Hayes. I don't like his character on SmackDown. What are they doing with Andrade?
Well, we can get to that later as we preview SmackDown, as we go into that, because that is on the docket for tonight's SmackDown. Andrade and LA Knight. Yeah.
So that also kind of the counterbalance to that is like when Raw goes to NXT, Netflix, Jesus. There's kind of not a defined time frame. They said it can be less than 3 hours. It can go more than 3 hours. I would like a 2.5 hour sweet spot. I don't know what the commercials are going to be look like, if there's any commercials, or it depends on our Netflix tier. I don't know.
I think it'll be a couple NXT call-ups to fill out the roster.
Yeah, so again, I think January is going to be really interesting with all the network changes, and again, we can get to that when we get there, but the SmackDown changes. But I don't know, that's our non-kayfabe news.
Nikki's non-kayfabe news. Trying to say that.
Something new.
Yeah. So from SmackDown, moving to 3 hours to our actual show that is 3 hours. Not this show, but the show that is 3 hours. What?
Yeah.
But touche. Regardless, this past week, Monday Night Raw had a lot of confrontations, a lot of takeaways. Judgment Day, Wyatt Six, Intercontinental Title, Bron Breakker, a lot to get through. So we're going to try and cover as much of it as possible. But if you missed it, here's some of the images from Monday night as we all worked for the weekend.
Everyone's watching, see what you will do. Everyone's looking at you. Everyone's wondering, will you come out tonight? Everyone's trying to get it right, get it right. Everybody's working on the weekend. Everybody needs a second chance. Everybody's going up the deep end. Everybody needs a new romance. You want a piece of my heart? You better stop on the line. You want to be in the show? Come on, baby, let's go.
And we are back with our Monday Night Raw takeaways. Nikki, we open Monday Night Raw with none other than your boy. I don't know, CM Punk.
We did. I say this every week. I absolutely love the tracking shots. You see him pull up in a car, he gets out, doesn't shut the door, which I thought was a little weird, but basically walks through the backstage, takes off his sweatshirt, goes through the gorilla and out to the ring. I really am loving those shots. I think it just looks great. But basically it was like, oh, how many matches do I have in these old bones? Like, depending on how you feel about me, that's your answer. But basically, he's got a lot more matches in him. It's more than we think. But kind of said that he didn't really have the Hell in a Cell match, and like his little sister said not to do it. Like my wife said not to do it.
Everyone tried to talk him out of it, but I liked how he did have I guess whatever acting classes he's been doing on heels helped out. Like he was like the reluctant facial expression, like he had like a even if it is Hell in a Cell, like I gotta do it. Like it was a nice like little emotion, like, and it seems like, spoiler, I guess next week Drew's gonna have
his rebuttal.
His rebuttal. So like we're gonna see this. It's hard to keep. I mean, after all the violence that's happened in this feud, it's hard for like either of them to go out week every week and talk about like alone by themselves and be like, I hate you so much. I hate you. This is why I'm doing this. You know, like I just get the feeling that it's gonna be a lull for the next like week. Even Drew, like Drew won this promo war in a lot of ways to me. It just feels like a little bit like a lull in between. Like Punk promo was all right. I mean, I think you said this to me. You're like, you know, even an average promo for Punk is probably the
like
best for everybody.
he did have some good lines. Like in the beginning when he was like, when I came back, I said I wasn't here to make friends, but I didn't come here to make a mortal enemy, and he did. And like at the end when he's like, the devil in my heart tells me that this ends in Hell in a Cell. I can't promise I'm going to kill you. Like he can't keep a promise that he can't fulfill or whatever that was. But I can promise you have to kill me because I'm prepared to die. I'm prepared for this heart to stop beating and for all this to stop. I had a good career, so be it. I'm prepared for this to be the end of CM Punk. I'll see you in hell. And this also made me think of the Mariah Tony thing when she's like, are you prepared to die? Because I am. So we'll see. It makes me think it was Hell in a Cell, 2013, maybe 2012, when he was on the cover and they had him in all the red face paint and it like like he looks like the devil. So
I'm trying to remember. But yeah, like again, like this was what had to happen for this it's a perfect blow off. Like I think I get where he's going, right? It's the calm before the storm. My question is like, I guess what's gonna happen like when they do that the go home show, you know, because there's been like because there's been such violence in this feud already, like there has to be a big spot. And then when we do the preview, like who wins, and then like do you keep one of these guys off TV for a while after this match, like the loser? Like there's a lot of different elements to it that like there's a trickle down effect that I think happens because like whoever wins this match presumably goes after Gunther, and so you would presume would be a face, but who's to say, you know? And there's also the Seth Rollins looming in the background that he was a referee for this, and also by the way, just other NXT news, CM Punk's gonna be the referee for the
so the first NXT on CW is of course in Chicago, and there's a title match between the champion All Ego Ethan Page versus former champion Trick Williams, and CM Punk is going to be the guest referee. Obviously Trick's gonna win that match now. You're gonna have your big baby face win in your new era on CW. I would love for Ego to go up to me, but I digress.
Yeah. So again, it's just an interesting little wrinkle.
It's the new show. They're in Chicago. Of course you're putting CM Punk on that show. They were saying that him being on NXT, and I'm one of them. I watched NXT live this week because he was on the show. They went up whatever percent. I'm sure somebody can let us know down below, but he's a draw.
He's always a draw. But regardless, again, a solid promo from Punk. Just warming us up for what's to come for Nicktober, aka Bad Blood. LSL. Nikki's
WrestleMania.
Nickelmania.
No.
I know she won't let me use it. That. Moving along. After this, we did have a match with Peter Dune and Sheamus, where it looks like at least Pete Dunne for the time being gets a win using not the shillelagh, but the cricket bat. New. That's right. New. I don't think anyone's really used the cricket bat.
No, not recent that I can remember.
But basically, this match was filled with basically dad jokes. Everything was Butch this, Butch that, and replacing the BI with the BU, and I, as someone who enjoys the dad jokes, thought I would enjoy it, but it killed me. After a while, I got bored.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of over this feud, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know how much momentum it's got.
I'm tired of the Butch stuff. And they brought it because he's kind of one character on Raw and he's kind of one character on NXT, but they bring the Butch stuff up on both shows, and I'm honestly I hate it when they changed his name. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna just go back to think about like that NXT UK tournament. I actually told my boss I was sick and went home to go watch it. Sorry, Dave. But like he was so good. Like, give me that Pete Dunne. Like, give me like the bruiserweight that beat up Tyler Bate before that match. Like, give me that. Give me that killer. Like, I'm tired of this like butch, non-butch. Like, I'm gonna use a weapon.
It's
just
a
like
trigger
he
word.
was the weapon. Give me back to that.
Yeah.
I'm over this. And also, he needs to fix his gear. He's wearing maroon singlet, and then his underwear is red. And
Nikki does not.
Bothers me.
Nikki gets very upset about ring gear, hair, the way you look.
Oh, I miss his
your
short
product, your presentation is very important here.
I miss his short hair. Like when it was just like like it was very like Peaky Blinders, like kind of just like short. But now it's just like I want to put like conditioner in his hair. I don't know where his girlfriend wife is. Put some conditioner. No, because he has a baby. I think it's just the girlfriend. I don't know if
Well, he's got the Perk Plus
dry
it ends.
That's why your hair is bad, because you're using Perk Plus. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry.
So moving along, we're going to skip over it. Basically, the next match in between here. So I'm going to bundle it together, but in between what was the next match of Natalya and Zoe Stark, where Natalya goes over.
Hated it. Move on.
Yeah, no. We're glancing over it.
It's like
hated it. I need. Never mind. I have a new drop that I need to remember of. It's in living color. Someone remind me. Steven, I feel like if you're listening, you're out there listening in, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And Living Color seems like a show that you and I would have both enjoyed in the 90s. Jim Carrey in his prime. But anyway, I digress. I got off on a Living Color.
I see that.
So sandwiched in between there's a lot of wrinkles of Xavier Woods. So Xavier Woods, the heel turn continues to grow for Xavier Woods, where he looks as though he's coming back. He reaches out to the Terror Twins, says like, we want to do this on our own.
Right. So this is what I feel like he's not the heel in this situation. He goes to Rhea and Priest and is like, hey, like I know how Judgment Day is, and like you wanted to prove yourself on your own for have the JD not be involved. Like I don't want you to get involved in our match. Like I want us to do it on our own. And then Priest and Rhea were like, yep, now got it.
No, so yeah, they were all on board with it, but ultimately this leads. I mean, the tag team title match later in the evening.
Yeah, so of course the match is happening. JD, the Judgment Day comes out. And then the LWO come out to counterbalance the Judgment Day. And then Kofi gets on the top rope and does his whatever you call it, that free fall.
The elbow drop?
No, that's Xavier. I'm talking about Kofi.
Oh, Kofi. Oh, yeah. Trust ball.
Yeah, he does the trust ball. So he takes out both factions. So for some reason, the referee gets out of the ring to deal with the schmoz outside the ring. In the ring, the legal guys, Woodsy and JD McDonough, again, Woods does his great elbow drop off the top rope, hits McDonough. No referee. The crowd is chanting 1, 2, 3, no ref.
Which this was a great call by Tessitore, by the way. He's like, they should be, he's like screaming, like, they should be champions. They should be champions right now.
I'm sorry. I really like him a lot. I know I think people are a little unfair to him online. I get it's his third week. You're not good at your job on your third week. Like, give the dude some time. But I think this week, he just like, I just feel like he was like subtle when he needed to be subtle, excited when he needed to be excited. Like, I love him. I really, with all the people they brought in, like, again, not going to remember his name now, something Smith. The bald dude that was like a UFC guy, terrible. Then I forgot. Remember that? No. There was like that other Vic. No, there was that other guy.
You did Vic? No, not Vic Grimes. That's the guy.
No, Vic Grimes and somebody else. Vic Joseph.
Vic Joseph.
No, he's an FT. He's Middle Eastern. He was there for like a cup of coffee. don't know, correct me down below. Anywho's, but he, like, I know this is like an outsider coming in, and I think he's doing great work. I think in time he can only get better, and I think the past 3 weeks, like, I think it's been great. I think people need to come down online, whatever. I would just run on a rant there and left. So yeah, so the referee's doing it the outside. Woods gets the visual pin, and then he's just like, what's happening? The crowd's chanting like this ref sucks or whatever. But then basically the ref comes in, Finn comes in, and they get JD, they hit the coup de grace.
And ultimately retain.
New Day loses, and well, Judgment Day retains, New Day loses, and Woods loses his shit. Like, this always had, like, what, like, pissed. Which he should be. Like, why are you doing this stuff on the outside? Like, I don't agree with you, he's a heel turn. But then he's the one that's wearing all black. But again, the Power Rangers, he loves Black Power Ranger. But basically, like, he yells at Kofi in the ring, and while he's like, things need to change, and then leaves the ring. And then Kofi's just like, huh? What?
So this begs the question, right? Now, I think, does Xavier Woods join or start a new faction? Or a tag team for that matter, I guess.
So if you want to, well, I guess we're jumping. So it cuts to backstage. Woods is yelling at the LWO, saying, like, why did you come out there? Why are you interfering in our match? Like, what are you doing? Like, yelling at them. And Kofi comes running like, hey, whoa. Like, I told them to come out there. I told them to have our back. Like, they had our back. And it's like, why does the LWO know, like, our tag team plan? And I don't. Which is, that's where they were going with Odyssey Jones. That, like, before, you know, whatever. That, like, Kofi was making decisions and not telling Woods. It's like, we're supposed to be tag team partners. He's like, we never needed any help, never needed anybody ever. Like, why do we need help now? And it's basically because he's like, oh, well, E's not here. And he's like, oh, it's just us. Just us. We, you know, that they're nothing without Big E. So I'm hoping that it's not, because they're coming up in November, I believe, of their 10-year anniversary of the New Day starting, which, God, I feel old as flip that it's 10 years of the New Day. But I'm hoping Big E comes out, cuts a promo, and brings the three of them back together.
I would love a heel turn on the 10-year anniversary.
I know, like, so WWE to be like, heel turn, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, just.
But then, like, hits
10-year anniversary, just bring in, it's a New Day on the New Day. Bring in 2 new members and just destroy Kofi.
Or what? I think.
Yeah, no, I want Woods to be the heel leader of a faction because he's great. When he first came in, he cut a good promo. It was solid, and even the heel New Day looked solid at that point. But
I just think I personally like Xavier Woods' character and talking ability more than Kofi, and I just personally like whatever Woods does. Whatever Xavier Woods does, I would be more of a fan and champion that than whatever Kofi does. And I feel like Kofi kind of needs Woods more than Woods needs Kofi.
That's fair. Wait, Woods need Kofi?
I think Kofi needs Woods more than Woods needs Kofi. I think.
Yes.
Xavier is underrated as a wrestler, 100%. I think he's incredible on the mic. Again, he was the mic person for so long. I think before, like, Big E actually got good at it, and I still think Kofi's terrible at it.
That's a fair.
I think Kofi needs Woods more.
Yeah, you can talk me into a match, even if you're a terrible wrestler. You could talk me into watching your match. So that's fair. So bouncing, I guess back around a little bit backwards, right before this match happened, we do see, we talked about Raw had a lot of these, and this is the first of many. Well, yeah, the first of many of confrontations. So we do see Finn Balor finally. Woo! And we're going to bunch this into our Judgment Day section as we were talking about that. Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley come face to face for the first time since the Judgment Day.
like the implosion. Oh. He comes. So Kathy's trying to interview Rhea, and then Finn comes in, and he's like, "You're just as bad as Priest, saying we're a family, but you only cared about yourself." And then like, I would have been champion if it wasn't for the two of you. And then she was like, "I'm so tired of you blaming me. It's like we were a family. I try to make opportunities, and a bad blood. Like you'll see how it is."
Exactly. Yeah, you'll see if how bad we can be.
Yeah, and then
okay.
Well, do you want to talk about that part, and then, or do you want to hear Finn's rebuttal?
No, Finn's rebuttal.
Oh, this is so bad. When he was just like, "I was the devil on Dom's shoulder. I told him to go after Liv," and it's just like, he's like, "I told him to leave you to go with Liv," and you're just like, Which you knew the whole time, because he was stealing the club card or car key or hotel key.
Which I still think your point and your like theory of like Liv and Finn being together could still be a nice wrinkle in this whole storyline.
That he and Liv had this idea to turn Dom against Rhea to weaken Rhea, when it's really them doing the little puppeteer the whole time.
Yeah, like, but I'm sure Dom, even if he's getting used, is probably enjoying it.
Some guys are into that.
So moving along, we're gonna touch more. Well,
I'm just saying. Then Jey Uso comes in, and he's like, "Is there a problem here?" And then Finn goes to Jey like, "Aren't you a little bit out of your league?" And it's like the double entendre of like, Rhea Ripley's out of your league, but also you're out of your league thinking that you can go after the IC belt. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm sorry. Sorry. So then Finn walks, and that's when you get your little yeets back and forth between Mommy and Jey.
Yes, with the potential new power couple coming along the way. So again, they allude mid show towards what would be coming, potential foreshadowing later in the evening. Chronologically, they come face to face. I do have some thoughts about this, about what the Judgment Day with Rhea's claims about family, which we'll get to in just a second.
We were a family. I just wanted everyone to have opportunities.
Yes. Save that thought.
You save that thought.
As we go through, the next segment is actually Bron Breakker and Jey Uso coming face to face, just talking to each other about how they're going to beat each other's ass. I mean, really. Any particular, takeaways from this?
I'm really loving Bron Breakker, to be honest with you. So Jay's doing this kind of like rah-rah speech, and then Breakker comes out, and it was like, I told you to stay away. Like, you're trying to be so inspiring, trying to show everyone that you did this on your own, that you didn't need your family. He's like, I've done more in 6 months than you've done your 14-year career. He's like, I did it without my family. I did it without their name. That's what I do. And he's like, I'm going to expose you, Jey, that you are nothing without your family. And it's like, where's the lie?
He's not wrong.
It's like, I do love Jey Uso, but like, that was like you're like, I did this all on my own, without the name, without this. I'm like, he's been attacked. Like, again, when I think the Usos are going down as one of the greatest tag teams ever, but it's just like, he's been main event Jey Uso for a year, almost a year, going on a year, less than a year. Was it after?
No, I think it's more than that.
Yes, no, over a year, because they were him and Cody were tag team champions, and then they did the drunken promo at the drunken press conference. So it's just like, I just felt it sounded so awesome. He's like, I'm gonna expose you, and then Jey was like, I'm gonna dog walk your ass. Your title reign is to be short and sweet, like your NFL career. And everyone's like, Whoa! And then he goes to, like, he hits Jey, and then he goes to do the back and forth through the ropes to do the spear, but then here comes Jey's shitty little spear,
Oh,
I
put in
hate
a
his
spear.
spear. It's a spear versus spear match, and I'm sorry. Jay's spear does not hold up to Braun.
They should make this match where spears are banned. That would
Good, so I don't have to see a shitty one. But this is what I hate. Like, all right, so I'll get over the spear spot, but I say it every week, I don't like the challenger touching the belt. You're not gonna win it now because you touched it.
Stay 6 feet away. If there's anything that we learned during the pandemic, stay 6 feet away.
Yeah. So that's what I really wrote. I was like, Braun hits him, Jay hit a spear, meh, don't touch the belt.
But I feel like that she just naturally, like, she just naturally puts that in there because anytime Jay hits a spear, she's probably like writing like
Yeah.
gag.
Basically. But I think the match is next week. I believe. Correct me down below, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah, no, it's next week.
And I love how he won Jay won the fatal 4-way last week. Give it a week for them to have this face off and then have the match. I like that Triple H is letting this breathe a little bit.
No, for sure. I definitely agree. So that brings us into what I guess around like the 9:30 hour of what was Monday Night Raw, and there is no Wyatt Six. Oh, well, Hydra wants to chime in. Braun retains because I can't see him losing. Hi. Hey, Hydra.
No, you're right. Could not agree more. I think it's gonna be a fun little match. I hope it's main. I feel bad because I feel like with the mid cards with the IC belt and then on Raw with LA Knight, y'all, they're not. I'm not complaining that these PLEs that are abroad that have been a tight 2.5 whatever hours, that there's only 5 matches. But since there's only 5 matches, your mid card champions have not been on there. So I think if you're not going to put Braun on Bad Blood, then he should main Raw. I don't know if that's been announced or whatever, but I would like to see main event Jey Uso.
Oh, agreed.
Main event.
No, I think that's a fair.
I think that deserves that main event spot.
No, that's a fair.
100% Braun's not losing that belt.
Yeah. He's gonna have a long reign, I think, and I'm curious. I think we're gonna see Bronson, and alliteration be damned.
Because
and
Braun's
don't
real
drink
first name
before
is
you.
Bronson. Oh,
It's gonna be a lot. I know it's gonna be a lot. But regardless, that leads us into, and we held back on it a little earlier when we were talking about the Judgment Day. But our next topic, we didn't see them. They didn't have a match, but they always, via way of your substitute teacher from the 1990s, VHS, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas came out with another tape, which led us on another little wild goose chase. So we actually have the tape here. It was delivered to our office.
our
bar outside in a very, very poorly wrapped package. So if you didn't catch it, here it is. And the chase continues, ladies and gentlemen, for the Wyatts. So, Nikki, we get on a journey.
We do.
Thanks to our old friend Bo.
Our old friend Bo. So if you scan the QR code, it takes you back to that Kasuji, kind of like that old,
Sorry, Steven, I'm glad they remember the WWE copyright. Yes, they did. Steven, never short.
Love you, Steven. Basically, that kind of live journal sort of page from the 90s. And there was 2 new entries. There's one that said she, and then you're gonna yell at me. It says Frater,
Frotter.
Frotter.
That's as a Greek life proud TKE alumni. Well, I guess member.
Frat boys.
Frotter is how you say it. So yes, go on.
But there is 2 new entries. There's the she and the other one, and then she basically was like calling out there's a potential for a new female member, and then the Frotter frat boys was basically seemed like it was calling out to somebody that like, hey, if you have a problem, like we'll help you. So are they setting up Alexa Bliss to finally come back? I don't think at this point you could bring Alexa Bliss back and not put her in this, because everyone's just gonna like, if she just came out and was like the goddess again on like SmackDown, everyone's gonna be like, go do that thing. And then for them to call out, like, who are they trying to help? Are they, to me originally I thought, well, I don't know if we're gonna get to that, but you know, the Brons of the world versus each other, that like, would they bring in Braun Strowman back in? Or are they calling out to maybe Priest or Jey, because they're gonna feud with that next?
So, in terms of like, there's a couple things. So, first off, like what I would say, I don't know what would be more obvious, but like just looking at the picture, I was like, oh man, like real quickly, I had to do double. Like I was like, oh, it's Braun Strowman, and I know it's Bo Dallas, but like I was like, oh man, like maybe that is the case. Like again, he's getting beat up, beat down. Like he should be in this group, or at least like unless you're telling me like you're gonna put Braun in the world title picture at some point in time in the next 6 months to a year, like feuding with them doesn't make as much sense to me as for Braun. So yeah, in terms of like when they debuted, now think back to, because if you look on this show, if you're a fan of the show, like we got Uncle Howdy checking in with us, giving us all the rabbit clues and the little breadcrumbs along the way. And it all led, these websites where this QR code leads to, all ultimately led to, you know, the letters, and this is what this person was, why they chose Nikki, why they chose, you know, Rowan, why they chose who they chose. So the website has been corresponding with actual debuts. So to your point, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. So it could be. So is there one new member? Is there two? I don't know. I mean, yeah, the Frotter thing, like, I just think that's like, you could argue, like, yeah, Frotter brother, like, it's a letter from, it could be, I mean, Bo has written all the letters, but it could be Eric Rowan to Braun Strowman. You know what I mean? Like, they were in the group together at the same point in time. You know what I mean? There's different, like, layers to this storyline that could ultimately lead to that. I would love to see it. I want to see this group become as strong as it should be, and everyone who was associated with Bray, even to the well, maybe not. I would probably, and I was going to say Matt Hardy, but no. I didn't think about that for a second.
Well,
but anyone who had some real affinity with Bray to some level should be involved in this group.
Well, spoilers alert, at the last TNA taping, Jeff Hardy painted his face to look like the Fiend. He had the mouth and the extended, like, red paint eye area. But I don't want to see any Hardys. Like, I'm more like, I don't want them to keep adding and adding people. Like, it's the NWO, and all of a sudden there's all these people in this faction.
True.
It's a real. I was like, obviously we're done with American Made. They cut their very American promo later in the night.
On the Hummer. The most American car ever made.
Which German.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure, no? Like the German. Anywho's. So they're moving. We're on like the precipice of like, is this going to be good or is this going to be bad? And I would think we're like right. It's like you see Robin Hood Men in Tights. I'm like, I'm on the east side, I'm on the west side, and he's like, straddle it, and he straddles it. Like, we're right there. Like, we can go this side or we can go that way. And I'm worried because I want this to be good, but one toe the other way, it'll be real bad.
That's fair.
But then also, if he does go after the Judgment Day, Finn has the
You beat me to it. Is the Judgment Day the next target? Because we were talking about.
Okay,
Nice.
this is your.
It was a nice little segue that we didn't get to do, but we'll do it now. So, with Rhea Ripley talking about the family, right? How she loved the family, which is very emphatic and emotional. Are the Judgment Day, because it's got to be a group, right? Like American Made. Are the Judgment Day the next targets for the Wyatt Six? Or is the Judgment Day?
It's the faction that also has the females. So you can have Liv, Nikki. Again, with all the family stuff. And then again, Finn has that tie-in. Finn was the first opponent of the Fiend. He came out and did that crazy. Again, I think the next feud for them is very important. And the Judgment Day used to be spoopy. I don't know. I'm worried. I want this to be so good, and I hope we're not jumping the shark anytime soon. I hope they can do this well.
Yes, I am excited to see where this can go. Ultimately, so again, it will be seen in the future. Well, we'll see in the things are coming. Survivor Series is what, like a month and a half away. So
it's the end of November.
Oh, and
the Saudi show when we're away.
All right, so two months away. So ultimately, yeah, things are going to come together in a timely fashion. And I would expect that to. I mean, everyone's talking about War Games and Survivor Series, but could there be two? Like, I mean, I'm getting excited because I get really excited because
you made quite a bit.
No, just like old school Survivor Series where like everything was a Survivor Series match, like an 8-man or 10-man tag. Like that would be kind of interesting if there's multiple 8-man tags that we haven't seen in years. I don't know. It'd be really nice to see just a different or an old school. I mean, it's been old school booking in a lot of ways, so you never really know.
Mm-hmm.
So moving along, just touching upon just some absolute destruction that happened for the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Bronson Reed, Big Bronson Reed, whatever he's calling himself now. Big Bronson Reed. Braun Strowman just literally tore down the house.
Pulled out the ring post. They went through
people.
He's an indie wrestler. Through things like Nessie, somebody. But Reed threw a man at Braun Strowman. And then they go up the ramp, and basically it ends with them spearing each other through a dry wall. Again, it's just so many. It's just them just spearing each other through shit.
Really, yeah, it's a bunch of shoulders.
The shoulder tackles again, better than a spear. And then eventually they go through the drywall.
So again, just a little bit of more just destruction out of those two. Moving along, we talked about confrontations on Raw. Sami Zayn. I love this.
I know you do.
Sami Zayn, who thinks it's Christmas 365 days a year. He actually appreciates Christmas more than Santa Claus.
Nick thinks he could only wear red flannel shirts.
He's a skinny Mick Foley. He's a skinny Mick Foley. You can't tell me otherwise. Say, have a nice day. End your promos with have a nice day. He's way more athletic. Well, actually, no, Mick Foley was pretty athletic in his prime. So I don't want to. Just like the latter, he was just so beat up. But regardless, he calls out Gunther again. The same old.
No. Well, so Evan here is in the back, and Kaiser comes out, or comes to AP and was like, "Have you found someone else yet that's worthy of Gunther?" And then Sammy's music hits, and he's like, "Oh well, like if you have an issue with it, like." I almost called him Walter. That Gunther can come talk to me, or you can go talk to Sammy. So Sammy does a promo, and then Kaiser basically comes out, and then Sammy was like, "Well, why are you doing this with Gunther? Like, is this why you kicked out Giovanni?" And it's basically kind of calling Kaiser out. It was like, "Why are you doing this?" Like, why are you with him?
Yeah, he basically plants the seed. I called it the turn whisperer because he did it with Otis and Alpha Academy, right?
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
All right. So he did it with Alpha Academy. So is Sami Zayn the turn whisperer? Could Kaiser turn on Gunther? Maybe.
Don't want to see it.
I mean, he beat up his best friend and main event superstar Giovanni Vinci, SmackDown main event superstar Giovanni Vinci, just to be with Gunther. So I don't know. The loyalty is there, but the idea of Sami Zayn planting the seeds is pretty neat to me. Again, a little bit more of the same, but in terms of the challenger, I kind of like it.
So then Gunther came out and then said to Kaiser, like, "Oh, do you have something to say to me?" And then I found those two names, and that was not good. Gunther said to Kaiser,
Oh, that's a great one.
Mary Joseph.
Oh.
Do you have something to say? No, don't do us. We're already behind. Do you have something to say? He beat up Sammy, and he was still basically like, "I'm not fighting you."
So a little bit more of the same of what we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Moving into the main, we're gonna glance over. Bianca Belair took a L, an upset over Io Sky. Not really sure where this will lead. If this leads to more losses for Bianca, we will discuss it further.
It was a really good match, and it was nice to see. I feel like their matches, I'm going quickly, it's all been like protecting Jade, making Jade look good, and it was nice to see Bianca and Io just have like a bad bitch match, like two bad bitches doing great fucking matches. I was here for it. Don't necessarily love the champion being pinned, but I think again,
but she's a tag champion though.
Still champion.
Yeah, but in a singles match, a tag champion being pinned doesn't really matter.
I don't love that. But anywhoosies, so I think it's just the downward spiral. I love Io looking good. Again, it was supposed to be Kyrie and her eyeball hit the announce table last week and it looked gnarly, but again, go watch the match. It's good.
So into the main event as we wrap up Monday Night Raw, it looks as though, as per usual, the Judgment Day continues to reign supreme, using the numbers game as they have. Solid match between Dom and Priest for what it was worth.
Yeah, I feel like they're both, giving Dom credit. Like, I think they just know each other's styles and know how to put on a thing, and it was just like them just dancing. I don't think you could get a bad match out of them, but of course it's all about who's getting involved. Obviously, like Rhea got involved, Liv got involved. That's how that schmolish happened. Liv threw Rhea into the steps, and basically it just kind of broke down.
Liv looks as strong as she I think possibly can.
Yeah.
With this storyline.
Yeah. So it's like then the Judgment Day is beating up Rhea, the Terror Twins, and then Jay comes out to help. And he kind of stalks down. He's like kind of like looking. He's at the bottom of the ring, but he's kind of like looking to see like what's his way to get into the ring. And then talking about beautiful spears, here comes Breakker coming in, spearing Jay. He's got like a hoodie on, so you don't know who's in that hoodie. What's that? Spears him, so Jay's laid out. So then they pan back into the ring. Liv hits Rhea with the Oblivion, and then Finn goes to the top rope and he tells the rest of the boys to hold Priest so he can do the coup de grace. But he also tells Liv to hold up Rhea so Rhea can watch him getting the coup de grace. And they reach out and grab it, like Priest and Rhea grab each other. They're friends. They're holding each other's hands, and he like takes the coup de grace, and they're all like celebrating. And I think this is what we wanted going into maybe possibly like Berlin and like SummerSlam. or I guess more Berlin because this is before they broke up. But like we wanted the Judgment Day to look strong, and this is a couple weeks now that they just beat up. It was the other week when Priest like laid down on Rhea to protect Rhea from the crutch beating, and now like they're grabbing each other's hands. Like, I'm sorry, you're about to take this move. I think this is what the Judgment Day needs to look like. They need to look dominant. To kind of eventually get their comeuppance. So I'm glad they're finally making them look strong. Like, they should have the numbers. And then I loved Breakker coming out to take out Jey.
Yeah, no, it infused two different storylines.
Which I love when they do that. Yeah.
Which is nice. And like, again, like Bron Breakker, what I like about this is Bron's a tweener, so it allows him to just still be like, listen, like, I'm pissed off because Jey speared me, not because I give a crap about what you're doing.
Yes.
And that's really at the end of the day what matters. So do like it. I think it was a solid Raw that helped probably more so build up Bron than anybody else. Even though he took the spear in it. So yeah, overall solid Raw nonetheless. But again, I think it's the calm before the storm as we build up to Bad Blood. So that the lull, so to speak. This is where if you were in a concert, you'd get all the slower, moody songs as you get ready.
Build into my mania.
Nicktober is getting ready. So, Nikki, we move on to our AEW Dynamite takeaways, which is basically, to be perfectly honest, a lot of challenges.
Yeah, it wasn't. Again, shout out to Kyle Fletcher. I'm in love with him. Loved him in the main event with obviously I'm wearing your Will Ospreay shirt. This felt like a weak Dynamite to me.
Yeah, it was a little lackluster, so to speak. But to me, the main, and as we opened the show a little round ago, like, was a lot of confrontations, a lot of challenges. So what we did see in the women's division, we do see, I'm going to say this wrong, Mina Shirakawa. Sorry, I said it wrong.
No, Mina Shirakawa.
I almost got it.
Her boobs were distracting me, clearly.
They were very distracting. So Mina will challenge Mariah May after Mariah May has been calling her out for months, even though she hasn't heard from her, according to Mina. So my question is about this match, I guess. How would you book it? Knowing that they have history, they've brought that history from Japan over to AEW. Do you have any?
I'm thinking it's the Wrestle Dream match, and I think that's when you bring Toni Storm back. I think this match will not have a finish. I think Toni will come and interrupt. Because I think I don't see Mariah dropping the belt to Mina, so something has to happen. Unless it's just the angle they just have their celebration in the ring together. But I think that's when you bring Toni back.
Yeah, like, I would love what I thought should have been all in. The all in match, which should have been, well, I guess it doesn't really, but Mina, Toni Storm should be the referee. I want Toni Storm, like, I thought Mina was going to be the referee in that match. Maybe because she's a little bit closer to Mariah, it didn't make sense. But like here, I want like the Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk thing. I want the same thing with Toni Storm as the referee, because Toni doesn't have any allegiance to Mina. Mariah just screwed her over, but like, again, like with all they had that little triangle, whatever you want to call it.
They did. They all kissed at the end of whatever pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see, if she's on good terms with everybody. Well, like it'd be interesting to add that little wrinkle into this match and book it that. That's how I don't know.
I'm sure you would.
I'd book the 3-way kiss.
You would. That
for
would be the whole
20
match.
minutes.
No.
20-minute banger. So, moving along, keeping with the theme of challenges, our old friends, Ricochet, or Rick O'Shea, challenges Will Ospreay for the 10-2 AEW Dynamite. We're going to run it back on one of the most prominent indie matches of all time.
So I think obviously too early. Too early. Not enough build. Again, it's just because it's their 5-year anniversary show. NXT's moving to their new home at the competition. I just think, again, like what you said, that match goes down in history. That match is changed a lot and broke a lot of people's brains. Hello, Cornette. But I feel like Ospreay has grown so much since that match. I don't know if Ricochet has. Because, like, I feel like Ospreay was out there grinding in the indies. He was doing Rev Pro. He was doing New Japan. Doing all this extra stuff. Ricochet was just the flippy dude in WWE. He can't cut a promo. This promo was fucking terrible. Ricochet can't cut a promo.
I just think he was out of breath.
Tell me one good Ricochet promo. Tell me in the comment section down below. Tell me when this kid can cut a promo.
Yeah.
And even like, I'm not saying that Will, CM Punk, but better for sure. I just feel like there's no build, no nothing. You're just going off the one indie-rific match. What, more than 7 years ago? Again, I don't know the date off the top of my head.
So I guess, when would you want it to take place?
I would say, I don't know, next year. What's not Revolution? Give me double or nothing. Give me 6 months of a build.
6? I don't know.
You're fighting over the Crunch Wrap belt. Make me give a shit.
No, I think it could be a world title or a TNT.
The belt that means nothing on your 5-year anniversary show when these guys aren't originals.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I agree with you. A big pay-per-view, but like 6 months, that's a long time to give these guys.
All right, then do it at Revolution. Do it in January.
Fair.
And you're gonna be
Let him.
once you do Full Gear in November. I know you want to go to Full Gears in New Jersey, which is a hop, a skip, and a jump away.
Yeah, I mean, you can't give it a 6, but like the 3-month build is fair. Like let Ricochet rack up some wins. Like Kyle Fletcher needs to be involved in this. Like do another Kyle Fletcher Ricochet match. Like let him like interact with some of those people. Like bring the United. What are they called? United Embassy, United Kingdom Empire.
No, Embassy.
I think it's United Embassy, but whatever.
Yes, because Ed said it last week because I said it wrong.
Like bring in some of those guys and just make this like dynamic feud just to kind of keep it going for a little bit. Mm-hmm. It has a lot of potential, but yeah, I mean, Ricochet's not a great talker, so it's gonna be tough. Neither is Ospreay's better, but he's not talking.
Ospreay said rack up some wins. He beat 2 besides Fletcher. Not saying like more shows is whatever, but I was like, you haven't beaten like high profile people. 2 counts as some. I don't know. It's very a little something. And I feel like maybe this is obviously a Tony Khan booking. You're shouting out this 5-year show. Don't make this like your main event or your lead or whatever. Like they're not originals.
He's gonna make it a lead. You know damn well that's gonna happen.
I know it's gonna be opened by this.
Yo, Tyler, welcome in.
Hey.
And we're welcoming our buddies that don't bear the lead. John.
Hello. I don't know. I just feel like this match we're gonna be disappointed in. Because I feel like that match again changed so much, and that's why we all hate. I hated the AJ Shinsuke feud because their matches, and in New Japan were incredible, and everyone wanted that, and we didn't get that. We got dick shots, and I'm sorry, I don't care.
Well, that is a perfect segue. Speaking of dicks, to Big Dick Tony Schiavone, because nobody messes with Big Dick Tony Schiavone and gets away with it. If Jeff Jarrett's around. The last outlaw does not appreciate when you mess with Tony Schiavone, because the last confrontation or call out, the outlaw, or the last outlaw, or whatever he's calling himself, called out the cowboy.
Oh,
I just want to see them sing karaoke.
no, I want to hang
Together.
out with my baby tonight. I said I wanted this match before All In. I want this. It's like the last old outlaw versus the new hot, like, young gun that's like just mad at the world. Give me that. I want this match. I can't, like, I don't know, like, I just want it.
I really don't know why you want
But
it.
I want this match so
I
bad.
don't understand it. I will never understand it.
Growing up as an Attitude Kid in the 90s, I really hated Jeff Jarrett. And I feel like in this past, how long has it been in AEW? 3 years? I feel like I've come to appreciate Jeff Jarrett.
Well, welcome in, Tyler. You're new to the YouTube channel. We appreciate it.
Hey, welcome.
Hit the old like and subscribe.
I don't know why, but I want this. I want this badly.
I don't know why you. I really don't understand it.
I just, like, I don't know. I think maybe I, again, not appreciate Jarrett when I was younger. Also, like, just him as him as a wrestler, him coming up, like, it's definitely like an old guard, new guard, like the old, like, weathered, broke down, like, comic, like, Wolverine.
They should do a
Logan.
draw, a 6 pace. Actually, they should start the match walking back to back, 6 paces, and then run at each other.
And
That's
then
how they
he
should do
hits-
it, like a cowboy match.
He hits the lariat.
You have to do some sort. Yes, a lariat too.
No, I think that's the. No, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, I don't know. You just have to do every cowboy reference imaginable.
But I think they're gonna lead Hangman on this trajectory of him, like, losing it a little bit, and then, like, I didn't write this down, but I had the quote from Jarrett. It's like, oh, the worst enemy or the worst thing or whatever it was is when you see yourself in the mirror, and that's when Hangman hit him. So I think it's like, I was there where you were. Like, I'm telling you, like, don't go down this path. And obviously, Hangman is definitely walking down that path. And I think it's just like, you could, like, that was, I think that's what Jarrett wish he was when he was that young. I think it's just gonna be a good match. I don't remember when they said it was gonna happen. If it's at Arthur Ashe.
Arthur Ashe. That's a tough one too, I think.
But anyways, I don't know. I love this. I want this. Hangman looking so good, like his Magnum TA version of him. I'm here for this. You know, I want this.
No, you're all about Hangman.
I am.
We did meet him.
We used a sweet little pickle when we met him.
But yeah, I don't know.
I really love this heel version of him.
I mean, I will admit that Jeff Jarrett at least stayed in phenomenal shape for someone who seems to be 85 years old. I feel like he's been around for 75 years. Like, I feel like he's older than Ric Flair, but we just don't know about it. He found the fountain of youth and has been drinking from it.
Well, because he's still
For
like Kurt
years.
Angle's wife.
Yeah, seriously. I guess that's what it was.
Anyways,
Kirk turned to Percocets after that. He couldn't find the fountain of youth anymore. I don't even know what it is.
oh no, next topic.
Anyway,
We
so
digress.
those were our main. I mean, BCC did do some stuff with Wheeler
Yeah, it's
Yuta,
not-
but not really a very eventful AEW Dynamite to discuss. So we move in to our WWE SmackDown preview. We are just about 45 minutes out of SmackDown, so we're gonna try and run down the key events of what we think are going to go down tonight, or the developments for tonight. So last week we opened the show telling you, oh gosh, I'm losing stuff. My computer's going cold. We opened the show telling you about Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns saving Cody Rhodes with an unlikely alliance. So let's take you back to last Friday, which I hope will undoubtedly open this Friday's Raw. Raw. Oh man,
SmackDown.
almost did it. will undoubtedly open this Friday's SmackDown with Roman Reigns saving Cody Rhodes. SmackDown is less than 45 minutes away, and we open with what was a solid match, I guess. Steel cage opening SmackDown, Nikki?
It felt, and I think this is when, like, Cody and Triple H really love old school NWA, and this felt like a very old school cage match.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
No, what's the word? Nefarious activities.
Like, no, and like I know you were like, oh, you beat him clean. I just felt like it felt very old school, like your blonde baby face versus your foreign. Oh my god! Like, even though Samoa is U.S. But I felt very clean, very old school, and I like this match more than I thought I would. And I feel like besides the match with Cena at one of the Saudi shows, this is probably his best singles match for Solo.
Honestly, most of his matches are just indiscreet to me. Like
I think this is.
SummerSlam was probably the most memorable match for me because everyone was involved.
No, but I think to open this new kind of SmackDown era, having Cody go over clean in this fun cage match. I wish it was the old school blue, but fine. Great. I love they did the superplex. I love he did the diving cross body. That, like, back in Dusty's era would have been the 1, 2, 3. Like. I don't know, a fun match. And then, of course, Cody won Crossroads. Then you have the Bloodline. Of course, Little Nature's the ref. Then you have the Bloodline scale the cage and then come in to beat up Cody. And then, Jacob Fetty's so good.
He's phenomenal.
He's so goddamn good. I want him in a singles match with Cody. I want him in a singles match with Roman. I want him in a singles match with Penta when that happens. Like, part of me wants to fast forward through this because I just want to see Jacob on his own. But we got a lot to get through before then. So basically they're beating up Cody, and then your OTC comes out. And then I don't know if you have the shot, but I love when he walks up and enters the cage and he slams it like, oh, I'm not in here with you. Like, your guys are stuck in here with me. And then beats up the Tongans. And then, like...
I do not have that shot.
And then Jacob pulls out Solo. And then Roman kind of jaw jacks with him to, like, let him in. And then Solo kind of holds him back. But I guess, is that before, like, Cody kind of saves Roman? I don't know how that. Anywho's, but there's a stare down. That's like them staring down each other, them staring down in Bloodline 2.0. What's gonna happen?
So that is the question. What is next for these unlikely allies of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns? Now they're together.
So then basically it leads to Nick Aldis is saying that basically then it's going to be Jacob Fatu and Solo want a tag match at Bad Blood with Cody Roman. And that's all like, will they, won't they? Like, Roman Reigns comes out later in the night and cuts the promo. He's like, you know, I might not have the Ula follow, but it's still what he still said is my ring, my show, or whatever he said. And that's when Cody comes out. He's like, if this has not been your place since Mania. But then,
okay.
No, I was gonna say whatever happened, and then they both signed the contract.
So ultimately, it's strange. Is it the term strange bedfellows?
Yeah, strange bedfellows. Because when they're not friends, but they have to, you know, either friend of the enemy of the no, it's a friend of
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, my friend. We're making new friends.
So ultimately, what's next for Roman and Cody as they are taking down the bloodline? Is it just kind of like the Terror Twins? Is it just the two of them against the JD? Like, is it because they're mega stars and superstars that they could beat up the whole like the GOD clearly are not anywhere near on any level for either Cody or Roman. Jacob they booked as that level, so they're holding that back. So I don't know what's next in terms of like, is this match is a tag match at Nicktober. So I'm not sure. Then the other question is, after getting their do you want to respond?
I was waiting for you.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, the other question is, after getting their asses kicked, how did the Bloodline respond to the Cody Roman alliance?
I'm not a fan, to be honest. I know this is huge. Mania, again, my birthday is Bad Blood, so we're booking that like WrestleMania. I don't love this match. I don't want to see them be biffles right now, or is it going to be like, again, those strange bedfellows? Will they? Won't they? They're going to be the aggressive, like, oh, once you get close, I'm going to slap you and tag myself in. Like, what's that do for anybody? Like, I don't think the only person that can take the pin in that match is Solo, and that's not a good luck. If you're really doing Bloodline versus Bloodline for War Games, then like nothing good can come out of this match. Like whoever takes the pin is going to look weak to me. And then I don't want Cody Rhodes. It's too early to put Cody Rhodes in this. I don't want it. You just had this blood feud at Mania, and now you're tag teaming at, it is my birthday, but like at a PLE, like it makes no sense. And if you're going to do Bloodline versus Bloodline at Survivor Series, where does that leave your champion? What does that do for Cody? Is Cody going to be with Roman in War Games match? No, thank you. I don't want to see that.
Randy's still lurking in the case. I want to see triple threat: Cody, KO, Randy for that belt.
Yeah, but
That's fair.
Then I just really don't like this one-off match.
So then, I guess the question is,
to watch it's going to be great for my birthday. I'll be drunk watching it, but I'm just like.
But the other question is then, there's rumors, when do we see Hikuleo? Is he the other enforcer to this group? I don't know. I think he could be another wrinkle in this whole. I mean, he's going to be another wrinkle in the storyline. But how does that all work out?
I just.
Steven said they're only doing it just to spite you.
Seriously, it was like, we'll give you the Hell in a Cell with CM Punk and Drew, but you have to watch this other match. But again, I know Hikuleo's like 7,000 feet tall. But do you need another enforcer if you have Jacob Fatu? And it would be weird if he goes with like saves Roman, and then that's when Roman's new heavy. There's rumors that Paul Heyman's supposed to show up tonight because there's supposed to be something tonight. He's got a new suitcase that his name's on it. I don't know. I really don't want Cody around this yet. I think it's too soon. I don't love this right now. Well, again, we have to see what happens in a half hour, 40 minutes.
Well,
I'm not sold on this yet.
That's a great segue. So as we move along into tonight's SmackDown preview, right? So the other there's two matches announced. So we have the LA Knight Andrade match for the US title, but I think more importantly.
So you know who's winning versus LA Knight versus Andrade.
But more importantly, I guess, as we look into SmackDown, what do you got? Like, I guess, who wins this match? A lot on the line with this tag women's match with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax challenging Bayley and Naomi. Nikki, what are the circumstances?
if Nia or Tiffy pin either Bayley or Naomi, they're banned from SmackDown. If Bayley or Naomi score a pinfall, then they get a title match with Nia at Bad Blood. I'm thinking
They both do, or whoever?
No, whoever scores the pin. So this also feels like weird late WCW booking. It's just like you have a tag match to make stipulations about a singles match. But to me, I think Bayley pins Tiffy, gets the match with Nia at Bad Blood. Tiffy cashes in. I'm calling Tiffy another birthday present to Mama. Tiffy cashes in.
So yeah, Nicktober is getting overbooked by everybody, mainly the person to my right.
My birthday, bitches.
To this, you know, it would be really, and I thought about this earlier, just because some people like to watch the world burn, and with me in pro wrestling, I seem to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
What if Naomi just turned on Bayley and gave her the rear view is such a shitty finisher, but like gave her something better than a rear view, hopefully, but to lose just to get Bayley off of SmackDown. Like there is that element of like, or maybe not necessarily Naomi, maybe someone who hates Bayley, like a heel that doesn't like Bayley, does something to screw her over to get her off SmackDown. Because there is an element now that she's, you know, whoever loses is off of SmackDown, right? So
yes, I just feel like there's too many heels right now because you have Nia, you have Tiffy, you have Chelsea, you have Piper.
I wouldn't mind Naomi as a heel for some reason. Like Naomi with Jade wouldn't be the worst like heel grouping together. I wouldn't hate it.
I hate to be. This is. I don't know why I'm on this one tonight, but I'm like Naomi's not a strong enough talker. To me.
And fair. Yeah, but she could tell her that she can't feel the glow, and that everyone else feels the glow except for her.
Like you don't feel the glow. There's nothing heel about that. She'd have to drop all the glow shit, and that's her whole thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe what's the antithesis of glow?
Dark. Black and
it's
white?
Just like darkness. Maybe she becomes like I don't even know. Yeah, there's no gimmick thing.
It's not gonna happen.
There's no.
No, I think it's gonna be Bayley, Nia at my WrestleMania birthday.
Every time Naomi comes out, just saying this out loud, but like probably shouldn't. But like, you ever go to Monster Mini Golf? I don't know if that's a thing in anyone else's country or area, but like Monster Mini Golf is all about like glow in the dark stuff. And it's like every time Naomi comes out, I just think of Monster Mini Golf. It's just like I don't know. The whole gimmick to me is just boring. But I don't know.
No, I think Bayley again, match card, Bayley, Nia, Tiffy cashes in.
Well put. Well put, Nikki. That being said, I know we've gone a little bit longer than expected tonight. This is what happens when you add a new segment of Nikki's news. I'm just kidding. You didn't go long. It was just a new segment we're adding to the show. We're trying to add. We're only here once a week, every Friday at 6. So we have to try and cram in as much as possible in that hour to 2 hour period before SmackDown goes on. So we have 32 minutes before SmackDown goes live. So that being said, Nikki, are you ready to open the phone lines?
Huh.
Let's get going.
Huh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming into the show. Somebody new here, but not new to us, or to me in particular, but friend of the show. We always love bringing on friends, fellow wrestling fans, fellow podcasters. So, from our friends who are doing probably, I believe tonight, a recap of SmackDown, our friends at Don't Bury the Lead. John, welcome in. What's going on, man?
Hey.
Wow. What an introduction. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nikki. Have been meaning to come on the show for a while. Really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Hey, pleasure as Always, this is this all-inclusive environment. We love having new friends, as Nikki likes to say,
New friends.
new friends to the show.
Hell
And,
yeah.
and a fellow New Jerseyan, so we appreciate
Even
that.
better.
The finest state in the union.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's a fair way of saying it, actually.
Yeah.
It's more
It is
prestigious.
probably the best state. I mean, let's face the facts here.
No, agreed.
I say this all the time. We're close enough to like the metropolitan city area that you can get that vibe, but you could also be like the country.
You could go down the shore. There's
Mhm.
remote parts of the state. I think it's a great state. And, I have to say, I'm really excited to be on the show tonight. I've been watching you guys. I put my little 1-year-old to sleep, and I watch you guys as I'm putting him to sleep. And you've been a big part of my Friday nights around the happy hour time. Typically not drinking alcohol, but tonight I had a couple pops. What do you guys think tonight?
Cheers. Hey, well, we like to say this all the time. Well, we appreciate the support for sure, and I've been following it on your channel as well. But again, this is a show where it is a happy hour, but you don't necessarily need to drink to join. It's the idea behind it is we say it's the wrestling happy hour, right? Like we all love wrestling, and it's our hours to appreciate pro wrestling and maybe rag on some of the crap that we don't appreciate.
Yeah, of course. No, you guys are doing great. So, okay, so I figure, maybe I'll start off here. I was struggling to think like what we could talk about, what would be going on in the industry, what could be something that would be cool to bring to the table here. And I'm going to give you kind of a good concept or idea that I have in my head for the one and only Jade Cargill. So Jade Cargill went to AEW, got pushed like Goldberg. She goes to WWE. They're kind of hiding her in tag matches. She's only getting like 1-2 minute squashes. They don't think she can go. They think she's a star. I like the idea of Jade Cargill with NXT getting more emphasis on live TV right now to get sent down to NXT. And not as like a demotion, but more like you're doing great at what you're good at on SmackDown. It's just more that we need some help on this brand. And it could be like a two-way street thing where she gets better in the ring, understanding what pro wrestling is. She's only 32. She's still young. And she isn't overexposed way up at the top in big matches. And she just can't do it,
It's a fair point. But see, like, here's my concern, though. Like, you bring her down to NXT, and then who's she like competing with? It's all like relatively green talent, right? Like, so like how like her star power could increase that, but I'm concerned with like most of NXT is so inexperienced that I don't know that she's gonna like. Is she gonna like go down there and just like run through a couple people or like have a legit? Because she hasn't even had a legit match. I feel like even the main roster, it's been like to your point, she's been so protected that you wait for that. Like, there's always that. Like every wrestler gets that. At least especially the monster heels get that like month and a half to 2 months of like we're gonna give you a bunch of garbage talent to run through, get all your spots in, and then like there's one relatively decent feud that they give you like they're like, oh yeah, Mojo Raw. I'm just throwing it like Mojo Raw. He's 6 foot like 6, like he's a big guy. Like
he's a great example of like how to fumble it, right? I just think to get the value you want out of Jade Cargill, I think she has to know how to wrestle, and she doesn't know how to wrestle yet. And I'm going to go ahead and say this because, I was an indie pro wrestler in South Jersey. I kind of saw like what would it be like. I got trained. I did the whole thing, and I just think she's missing very basic fundamental stuff in the ring. And that's specific to like she can't just go out there and call it, right? Like she couldn't go out and do like a 7-minute match and call it. A lot of this stuff's still a little awkward. She needs like some fine tuning, and then she could be a real star. And I think this is a way. It's not really like a downgrade, but more of a lateral move, right? Where you can say, hey, you can be one of the top people in NXT. You can have these matches. There's a lot of people down there that can work. And maybe they can't be stars like Jade, but they can work, and maybe they work on her a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely needs that's my biggest concern. She needs the exposure. Like she hasn't had.
That's interesting, Nick. So you think you should maybe take the training wheels off, let her have a 15-minute match on a pay-per-view, one-on-one versus someone.
Not necessarily 15 minutes. I don't know if she's ready, but to the extent that we haven't seen her, like I'm like, as you're mentioning, I'm like, what singles matches has she had? I didn't even.
They haven't given her a shot. Nikki, what do you think?
Well, it's like double dutch when you're trying to jump in. Because you can't do, like, you're talking about, like, the Rybacks of her coming in as this monster heel. They already did that in AEW. And she had, like, squash match after squash match. And then she actually had, like, great random match with Anna Jay. And she actually had a great match with Ty Conte. It's just, like, you can't bring her in and do the same thing. Like, they're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you pair her up with Bianca Belair, who's like, you think that she can carry her through. And a lot of it feels so slow that you're waiting. She's waiting for someone to get into the position. And you're waiting for someone to do the back thing. It's not liquid, and you want liquid.
No.
So I'm not opposed to her going back to, even if it's not even on TV, I think she needs some more reps back down in NXT. Because again, it's like there's no fluidness with her. It's very rigid. It's very thing, and like even her stinger splashes don't like it.
Yes. Oh man, that's perfect. Wow. I said the same thing. The stinger splash is so weird because it looks like someone. Okay, so wrestled in the Indies. There would always be like a drunk guy at the end of the show that wanted to get in the ring and jump around and do some stuff, and they do like the moves and they wouldn't do them right, or whatever, like that. Sometimes she looks like the drunk guy that wanders into the ring at the end of the match. When the whole show's over, he's like, oh, I just want to play in there. And he starts doing some stuff. The stinger splash specifically, because she kind of like runs to it and then she jumps and like does it. And it's like, it looks not athletic and not like very fierce or high, so I totally agree, Nikki. And there's definitely some holes in her game that hopefully she can refine. But yeah, so that's my contribution to tonight. I thought about the question for a while. You guys, again, I don't want to tout you too much, but I listen to you every Friday. You guys are great. Keep doing your thing. And if you're watching now, subscribe on YouTube. Come on, folks. These people.
Well put. Man.
Listen, let me tell you something. When you're a smaller creator like Nick, Nikki, myself here, any subscriber is really helpful. So if you're watching right now, after the live stream currently, just hit subscribe. Say, I don't want the notifications. I don't want to see this all the time, but it's very helpful.
Exactly. Well put. Well, hey, pleasure as always. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. I know. Are you guys going live tonight at 10?
We have revised our show a little bit. So basically, right now, what we're doing is we're going to do the shows on Saturday because maybe I'll tell you a little bit about our show. So we usually go live after SmackDown, like my friends here at Nick Club Wrestling are doing before SmackDown. So we would be the after SmackDown. But due to like the changes in the USA Network from Fox, we don't have great access to the show lives. And then also my son wakes up at like 5:45 a.m. So we shifted the show to be like around 5 or 6 o'clock on Saturdays. So we're kind of easing into like a Saturday recap show.
Awesome.
Very nice. Right. Well, I'll be tuning in. I always tune in. So pleasure having you guys aboard. We love having guys like you on the show and supporters as always.
One question.
Sure.
I want to ask Jersey people. Taylor ham pork roll.
Oh, I am in deep South Jersey. I lived in Philadelphia for like 12 years and moved to South Jersey 2 years ago, back to South Jersey. So it's pork roll. You guys are Taylor ham. You guys are way north.
Yeah. I went to school in Princeton and then lived in Philly, so it was very much pork roll. Like
you went up and down the coast.
I'm back on the Taylor Ham because we live more north. He's North Jersey. I'm back on the Taylor Ham swing. So I love this favorite question. That's just like, what is it to you?
It's always been Taylor Ham.
It's delicious and magical.
You know, like that guy who's like, it's still real to me. It's always been Taylor Ham to me.
It's always been Taylor Ham.
You know, if I could get a cameo of that guy saying that might make this show worth it. Like, forget any wrestling drops. That might be worth it. It's just all of itself.
Yeah. You know, we're letting you go, but that's a question I love to ask my Jersey people.
No, perfect. Nick, Nikki, really appreciate it. Keep up the good work. And I'll be on the show again. So thanks so much.
Yeah, pleasure always, John.
Thank you.
Cheers, our friends that don't bury the lead. John, making new friends, Nikki.
Making new friends.
Asking them about Taylor. Now I want an egg sandwich.
And I'm really upset.
And it's not really egg time.
I said to Nick, because we had my new best friend Tony on the other week, and I didn't ask him
Ex-Jet legend, New York Jet legend, 2-1 Jets.
Oh,
Let's go Jets.
Yeah. No, but we had Tony on the show, and I feel like after we logged off, I was like, I didn't ask Tony our pork roll question. So when we're talking to him and to John, I was like, we have to ask. Again, in the comments down below, if you're Jersey, if you're, I don't want to say East Coast, but East Coast, tri-state area, tell us pork roll, Taylor Ham, regardless, it's magical, egg, cheese roll. But I digress.
I might make that. I might have to DoorDash for breakfast.
I'm here for that.
I'm all about this. So we got one more person on the line here before we wrap up. Before SmackDown starts, every time I get concerned because I don't know if it's this person or not. So one day, if the show continues to grow, we will get to the point where someone's going to fill in a name, and I'm going to assume it's this person. It's not going to be this person, and it's going to be a really awkward moment in everyone's life. But
get into it.
I'm pretty sure now this is this person. So on our show, you say his name and he appears. But you also have to say, ba-ba-ba-da-bo.
I'm a scat man. I'm a scat man.
Bring him in, Steven.
I also want a Taylor Ham sandwich now.
All right, I'm kind of.
But no, that's breakfast food. I have to wait till morning for a Taylor Ham, egg, and cheese.
I am also a firm believer that anytime after 10 a.m., if you eat eggs, it's kind of wrong.
Nah.
I don't like Nikki makes egg salad. I don't appreciate egg salad.
I can eat eggs breakfast. Like eggs is maybe my favorite thing. I can breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Like as the base, no, as a base, okay, but like as like the main premise for something, like if you eat a fried egg or an omelet after 10 a.m., I don't know, you're kind of weird to me.
What about a Cobb salad though with hard-boiled eggs in it?
All right, because all right. See, here's my point. So like, Cobb
we're answering the hard-hitting questions, everyone.
These are very hard-hitting questions.
It's the accoutrement.
Like. So here's my deal. It's not the staple for that salad. Like the lettuce is, right? So it's a complement to the salad. So it's not really a breakfast. Like eggs are a breakfast protein. So like adding them to a salad as a complement is not terrible. But like making them the focal point for your meal is wrong.
Oh, I don't know. So the egg should just be honored to be there.
Yeah, basically. That's actually a great way of saying it. They should just be happy to be included in the party.
You're lucky to be in this salad alongside our vegetables and dressings.
Yeah, inside that shitty tomato cherry that I never eat anyway.
Or cucumber pieces, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, all those. A lot of vegetables I don't like raw. Like Those are like, all right. I'm gonna go on a rant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steven,
Yeah, yeah.
what are you thinking when you drinking? Talk to me, babe.
Oh man. So all hail the return of Saturday night's main event.
Mm.
And hopefully with now that they have Jesse Ventura back in the fold, with Jesse Ventura as at least a partial co-host, and also glad that it's in prime time so they're not preempting Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. So
And that's going to be a great Saturday night of TV.
Is it supposed? I didn't read enough about it. Is it supposed to be? I know it's not every week, right?
No, I think only 3 times a year.
So for how many hours though? Like, what's the show?
I don't know. I want to say 2.
I think it's supposed to be like the 8 to 10 like prime time spot. Also keeping KVDs. Pretty sure guys Christmas holiday party is the same day.
Right. I think NBC's usual Saturday night schedule is I forget what from 8 to 10 because all the other major networks are busy running games. And then 10 to 11 is a rerun of SNL, usually the from the previous week, and then your local news. So it seems like that 8 to 10 slot would be where you would put in Saturday night's main event.
I wonder how well is this? So what is it? The Rampage was it Rampage the AEW one that got canceled, or is it?
It's good. It's on the process of being canceled.
So okay, so it won't affect. But so now Collision has to compete once every blue moon with Saturday Night's Main Event, right?
Yeah, but it's on Channel 4. Sorry, Steven. Channel 4 is TNT. So go Steven, please.
Yeah, AEW's on TNT, and Saturday night's main event will be on a main network.
Yeah.
But it's all about competition, right? It's the same relative product, right? Like that. I guess that's kind of my point. Is like, even though it's only like 2-3 events, like there will be instances where they go head to head.
Yeah, it's keeping it's kind of good strategically because it's keeping one foot in broadcast television for when the whole shebang all goes to streaming very soon.
Mm.
So this will be like a quarterly or every 4 months or whatever reminder for the people that don't really watch Netflix. That hey, we're over here now, but here's what we're offering lately.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it seems to get like one really good show every 3 months.
And nothing like getting stuck in traffic on a Saturday before Christmas on the way to the Nassau Coliseum.
Oh, good Lord, that sounds terrible.
Oh God, I was stuck in that traffic once many years ago, not for a wrestling show, but it was probably the worst traffic I think I have ever seen. Getting
out. Anything Long Island is usually awful.
Yeah, unless you travel at like 3 a.m. But it's great that the show is coming back, and love to see what the modern day version now is going to be like, or if they just keep it the way it was and with the updated personnel.
Yeah, no, I love the promo package about it. Like, had that 80s feel, showed all the old moments. I would love for them to keep the red, white, and blue like ropes. Like, I would like, because like I said when we did the SmackDown thing, that like Triple H and Cody love that old school feel, and I want Saturday night's main event to kind of capture that in a bottle still.
Yep. Yeah. So December 14th.
Exactly. Steve, you're the hype man. What else you got, Steve?
What else? I feel this booking being discussed on the show about Bad Blood isn't so much about, you know, what makes the best storyline sense or what the audience would want to see, but more along the lines of, please don't ruin my birthday.
It's 100% right. You're right.
We're gonna have a blast regardless. So get on board.
All right, I'm just making sure.
Listen, Nicktober is going to be a blast.
You're gonna be here and you're gonna have fun and you're gonna like it.
Listen, if all else fails, I'm blaming Triple H for anything that goes wrong on Nicole's birthday. So that's gonna be my scapegoat for literally, like, Triple H should just go to Jack Perry and get that stupid headgear costume, because anything, like, pretend it's like, imagine like, what? I know you're right. Like, I'm imagining like Nicole and our wedding. Like, anything goes wrong, I'm blaming on Triple H for bad creative.
Wait,
Anything goes wrong, obviously it's like, oh, it's a wedding planner. It was her fault.
There was
I know,
no
but
wedding
I know, but I just fed you drinks and told you there was a wedding planner.
I'm very what?
I just, like, you find a scapegoat. He's a
Steven,
scapegoat.
you were at our wedding. I hope you had a wonderful time.
Yes, looking
Yes,
forward to it.
you look at that wedding planner.
You look forward to it. You were there.
You look forward to it too.
You look forward
Me
to
too.
something that happened that you were at 3 years ago.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
speaking of, hey, congratulations to our listener of the show, by the way. And in a minute, just saying. But anyway, Steve, what else you got for us?
Oh, cannot wait for all these former TNA and Impact acts to start showing up. They're really working the old TNA network. Motor City Machine Guns, Penta, who, lest we forget, was a former Impact champion. Just all these people.
Yes.
Yeah, very briefly, but yes. I think he was around the same time that LA Knight, formerly known as Eli Drake, was there.
It's like
I really, wow.
teens.
And he was known as Pentagon Jr.
Right. So it's like that really is gonna be he can't be Junior. I don't know if he's gonna be Zero Mirror. Like, he couldn't use Pentagon Jr. in AEW. So now with him leaving AEW, is going to be able to be Penta Zero Miro? Like, I don't know. He's going to be Penta something.
Knowing WWE, they knew exactly what they're going to call him before they ever signed him. Like, it's like whatever his real name is. Like, they found some derivative of it.
No,
like,
you have to keep Penta. You would have to keep Penta. It has to be the same mask. You're so used to how he looks. Like, you can't.
No, but like, it could be the same character. Like, I just feel like they knew. WWE knows what they're calling him before he's ever signed, because they know how they're going to make money off of him.
Yeah, but they don't seem to do the random name generator anymore, like when Vince was in charge. So it'll be some variation of what they're already named.
Maybe it's like Octagon. It's another shape that they'll throw out there.
Corporate synergy, though.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know shapes well. I'm not good at shapes, so I can't even create a good name.
But with everybody coming in, it seems likely now that Kevin Owens will be leaving with his contract. I have a feeling, I mean, it's up in the air. His contract's up, I think, at the end of the year. But I have a feeling he's going to leave for the same reasons that Edge Adam Copeland did, is that he wants to go to the other place to go play with his friends, the Bucks, and all the other old Ring of Honor people that are there.
Like, I get that, but I mean, if you've made enough money, I guess you can do whatever the hell you want. But like, I don't know that like could he be a main eventer there? Yeah, for sure. But like, does that do anything for his career, his legacy?
I think that's not to cut. Well, the boys off, but that's Ed said, like, I've done everything I can do in WWE, so let me go somewhere else to play, to coach, to teach, to do something different. Is KO at that same point that he's done everything? Like, they're not going to give him a Royal Rumble win. He doesn't want to win the IC belt anymore because he's tied with Owen. Like, could he just go to AEW to do something different? Like, he's made his money. He's got that WWE money. It's not like, Mama's got money. Like, why go? How I not go play with your friends? Like, that was like the BTE thing that, like, they were both in Canada. They walked by each other with the belts. It's just like, why not go play with your friends? Like, you made your fucking money. Have fun.
And whether it's a matter of money or not, Tony's going to back up the Brinks truck anyway for him. I mean, even if it means he never sees a TV camera, at least he's not. At least he's not with WWE. I'll give you double your salary that you were making in the E, just to stay home.
Basically, we did with Miro for 9 months.
Yeah, right, Miro. Yeah, Miro's done pretty well for himself. I wish I had that gig.
Girl, sign me up all day.
Seriously, Steve. Pleasure. Last shot before we let you go.
Yes, sorry, less than 5 minutes to Kamak sound, or that's at least how the logo reads, the new logo. So.
Skamek.
Sorry that got through, but yes, enjoy the show, everybody.
Well put, Steve.
And ladies, call in. We know you're there.
Exactly. We know you're there. Well put. Ladies and gentlemen.
Steven! I love you. Thank you.
Our resident stat man. So, that being said, we went a little longer than we expected.
Oh, girl. I have 3 minutes. You gotta. Thank you for. You gotta do your thing.
I know. I gotta do the thing.
You have
The thing with the thing.
But the things, but the thing.
I know. Our little outro. Well, it's a pleasure. Every week, it is our pleasure to tend to the bar that you join us virtually. So, that being said, there's only one eloquent way to end the show. Is with our not CCO, Paul Triple H Levesque. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Nikki always says I say it wrong. I think I said it right. I said it right tonight. That's a big win. Ladies and gentlemen, Triple H to take us out.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. You know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
We were able to do it tonight and the last couple of nights, which is really the most important thing, is to stay healthy and positive in these events. So
get your snacks, take you and your dog outside. We got 2 minutes. I have so much to do right now.
So much. So many things.
So many things about things. We love
responsibilities,
you.
adulthood. But we appreciate you all. Until next Friday, we will see you next Friday at 6. But you do not have to go home.
But you can stay here. Bye.